Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel of Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well. Squeaky chair. Really do hope that, mate. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily-ish series here on the channel where I reflect on what's being said about Chelsea, giving you my opinion on it, for whatever that's worth. More importantly, asking for yours. Lots to get into today. We're citing two articles from The Telegraph. Big, serious, broadsheet publication. One by Matt Law, talking about Chelsea's new technical director, Christopher Vivell, who reportedly could be announced imminently, or this week. Chelsea will also get a sporting director, as well as this technical director. This came out a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, but I want to go over it, some information there, give you my opinion, just let you know what's going on with the structure at Chelsea. But also, yesterday, an article released by Mike McGrath on The Telegraph, also talking about Chelsea eye Lorenzo Pellegrini and Yeremy Pino as Mason Mount contract talks drag on. Are we going to replace Mason Mount? I don't think so. It would be a ruddy disaster, of course, looking in scintillating form once again. Proper Chelsea, etc., etc. But we'll see what they're saying. Either way, man. It's going to be a pretty long video, I think, so make sure you're comfortable, eh? Pour yourself a drink. Lean back. Drop a like on the video. It means a lot. Thanks, mate. Are you doing it now? Thank you. Some of you have stopped liking the video. My dear sweet friends, mate. Rally. Come on. Click that button. You're welcome to subscribe as well, of course. And should you choose to do so, you can hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. I'm not warmed up yet, mate, so forgive me. Do you know what I mean? Anyway. Mount, 23, has one full season left on his existing contract terms, and there is an expectation he will extend, but the deal could take time, of course. One of the priorities of the new ownership was tie down both Reece Flames and Money Mount, sorry for that, to new long-term contracts. Both excellent players, both represent the club well. Of course, Reece James has signed a 5+1 deal and is locked in. Mason Mount, though, yet to do so. Let's read. Chelsea are looking at Roma's Lorenzo Pellegrini and Villarreal's Yeremy Pino as contingency plans as Mason Mount heads into the final 20 months of his contract. Ooh. Mount, 23 years old, has one full season left on his existing terms, and though there's an expectation he will extend, it could take some time, and there's no agreement. Other options for attacking midfielders have been assessed during Chelsea's exhaustive squad revamp over the summer, including Pellegrini and Pino. Interesting. A big criticism of Mount, who's sort of a high octane in terms of hard-working, conventional number 8. He's not like a Cesc Fabregas in terms of creative attacking midfielders, a player that we've called out for a long, long time. And of course, neither is Jorginho. Jorginho plays in the sort of quarterback position, but he's a regista, a metronomic ball-moving pace setter. He's not a Cesc Fabregas, and you know, he probably tackles like Cesc Fabregas. But he's, for all his strengths, and there are many for Jorginho, he's not that kind of player. But saying that again, Mason Mount, you know, look at he gets a lot of assists, open play assists. Look at the two open play assists he got against Wolves. Lovely cross, and obviously a disguised through ball to Pulisic. You know, who needs a creative midfielder when Mount's popping those off? So Pellegrini's 26, is the captain of Roma. Wow, didn't know that. After starting the Italian club and rejoining them after a spell at Sassuolo, excuse me. He lifted the Europa Conference League last summer alongside one Tammy Abraham, by the way, who has an €80 million buyback clause for Chelsea that comes into play next summer. But I do not think, personally, as things stand, I don't think Chelsea are going to exercise that. Especially now we've got Armando Broja taking names, in the Premier League with us. So he's similar to Mason Mount in terms of his position, Pellegrini, where he supported former Chelsea striker Tammy. There it is. The Italy international was a long-term contract to the Stadio Olimpico, so it wouldn't come cheap. Pino is just 19, but he's on the radar of Premier League clubs after breaking into Villarreal's team 2 years ago. Oh, Ute fam. And eventually starting in the Europa League final victory over Man United. Ooh, that was fun, wasn't it? Remember that? De Gea missed, although Kepa, so, you know. He also played against them in the season's Champions League. Yeah, he's good. So basically, Chelsea are looking at these two potential replacements to Mason Mount, but I think it could all be hot air. So let's read on. Potter praises Mount, but best position still up for debate. So this is an interesting talking point. Mason Mount's return to form in Saturday's comfortable win over Wolves. Pause. He was also excellent against Milan, of course, but he was very good against Wolves. Was good news for both club and country. Played well for England, even though Potter emphasised that his main concern is what Mount can do in Milan on Tuesday rather than in Qatar next month. That's probably because Potter took the Chelsea job and not the England job. Mount's dip in form over the opening weeks of the season caused consternation among the observers that his career was starting to follow the path of Dele Alli. Whoa. I had concerns about Mount and asked for him to be dropped. But I was nowhere near, mate, saying his career is about to follow the path of Dele Alli. What a cuss! What a cuss! That is cold shit. Who's written this again? Mike McGrath, mate. Come on, brother. Who shone brightly as a teenager, became an England regular in his early 20s, but by 25 he fizzled out. Now he's playing in Turkey or whatever, anything. There's no suggestion that Mount's decline thus far has been so dramatic. Amen. In fact, he looks good, but there were certainly questions on whether he should be an automatic pick for either Chelsea or England. True. So poor were his statistics for goals and assists until recently. Mate, this is becoming a Dele Alli comparison piece. Let's scroll down. Let's see what Graham Potter said after that. So Potter was delighted. He said this: "I really liked his performance today. He linked up the game well. He and Christian Pulisic were a threat down the left-hand side. Indeed, Mount links up well with Christian Pulisic. You know, they score combined against Real Madrid. He always combines well with Kai Havertz, of course. We assisted both of them in that game. And he does combine well with a lot of players, Mason. He's an intelligent player. As left-hand side, he made a lot of runs, sacrificed himself for the team, worked hard when we didn't have the ball, so it was a really good performance by him. That's what you want. Mason Mount, he loves Chelsea, he'll tackle, he'll fight for the badge, he'll always run like Conor Gallagher, but, you know, he's got a goal in him, and more notably, lately, he's got a creative pass, and I think he made 5 key passes in that game. Granted, it was Wolves at Stamford Bridge, but, you know, he's cooking, man. Potter goes on and says, "I've no doubt about Mason Mount at all. Sometimes the team doesn't function as well, so the individuals don't function as well." Yeah, when the team doesn't, the individuals don't, he's saying. "Any young player knows football is a bit up and down. You have moments when it doesn't go your way, and it's about what you can do to learn from that. He has got character, that personality to continue to develop. He's a delight to work with." The article goes on. I'd urge you to go and read it yourself. He talks about, Breuer. We've waxed lyrical about Breuer, etc. But Cy Phillips, at Cy Phillips Sport, I believe, on Twitter, saying that Mason Mount is likely to sign a new deal like Reece James. It's just tying up a few things. He's going to get a similar bumper contract as the best right back in the world. To be honest, man, Mason Mount, you can play him in the front three, you can play him in the mid three, you can play him out wide if you need to, and he's always going to give you 100%. He's not going to cause any trouble in the dressing room. Much like Reece James, sign him up, mate. He's already worth a lot of money. He's never going to, drop off in terms of application and development. So for me, sign him up regardless. Let me know what you think, because you might be inclined to look at those replacements, and also tell me what you think about Tammy Abraham if you fancy it. Just comment down below and share your thoughts on what we've discussed in that piece there, and let's move on. Right, so we are looking at this chap, Christopher Vivell. This is from Matt Law, again on the Telegraph. Chelsea aren't just looking for a sporting director, they want a technical director as well, and some people are speculating that could be why Christoph Freund changed his mind and stayed at Salzburg, because maybe he didn't get, or maybe he found out he wasn't going to get the full power that he originally speculated on. This is speculation here. So, yeah, I can't say that for certain. Let's read. Vivell will join Chelsea as the club's new technical director, with the Bowley Clear Lake Capital ownership set to make more senior football appointments. By the way, there's been an article since that has suggested this could be announced this week. Leipzig announced on Friday that Vivell has left his role as technical director and the German club due to contrasting views, and the Telegraph Sport can exclusively report the 35-year-old will join Chelsea. He's 35! He does not. He looks older than that. Mate, everyone... Also, Anthony Barry's 35, and they all look in their, like, mid-40s. No, I ain't cussing, man. Like, you know, whatever. Like, you know... It just... Football must age you in management. Also, Chelsea just seem to love up the RB... And I know Todd Bowley spoke at the Salt conference about how much he loves the RB model, but... We're speaking to Salzburg, trying to get their sporting director. We're speaking to Leipzig, giving them, you know, Timo Werner. We're doing a pre-agreement for Nkunku. We're trying to sign Gyarbadol. Now we're getting their technical director. We're just like leeching the RB model. Give me your people and players. We want them, apparently. Vivell is understood to have held talks with Chelsea earlier this week and will take up the technical director role, with the club also aiming to make more senior appointments. The last technical director we had was Emanalo, of course, though I'm sure the role then and the role now will be slightly differing responsibilities and stuff. The Clear Lake ownership, Bowley Clear Lake ownership, have been discussing appointing a sporting director alongside this technical director, while there's still space for a chief executive or a general manager on Chelsea's new look board. A GM, a general manager, you know you've got American ownership when you get a GM in. Vivell is expected to be responsible for data and scouting. Ooh la la, we love that here in the new Chelsea. And will work alongside head coach Graham Potter and recruitment specialist Carl McCauley while reporting to the owners. Of course, Carl McCauley is someone that Potter brought with him from B-Town. Explaining how he works with Leipzig structure, which may provide a clue of how Chelsea will divide duties between the different posts when all their jobs are filled, Vivell said this, quote, "I'd like to explain it this way. Managers think from game to game. Potter. Sporting directors think from one transfer window to the next. You know, who are we looking for this window? Technical directors, who he'll be, think 3 transfer windows in advance. The grand plan, the large scheme, the greater good. You know, Potter manages the games. The sporting director be like, right, who's on the market? What can we do here? You want a striker? Let's, you know, do this, or let's start negotiating and let's have a look. And the technical director's like, right, in 3 years' time, bang, 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 this is where we're going to be. You know, we're going to win the World Cup. Man City will be relegated. You know, that's the great plan. On Leipzig's website, Vivell's responsibilities were described as being, quote, for the strategic direction of squad planning in line with an overarching transfer philosophy. This includes all recruitment and scouting measures across all age groups and on a global scale, including Brazil and the USA. And it also added he's responsible for the development and maintenance of the global RB footballing philosophy. Wow. So that will like drip feed down. So it'll be like, yeah, the academy, you guys start playing like this. So when you get to the first team in Graham Potter, you know, everything's sweet, you'll know what you're doing and you'll understand the philosophy. We're going to be thinking transfer window in 3 years' time, whether it's a new satellite club that Todd Bowley's bought in Brazil or Portugal. You know, you got some youths over there in 3 years, they're going to come over here to do that and join the plan. Joined up thinking, a big, intelligent... I mean, the more I read about this and the more you learn about it, it is a pretty wild project. It is. The ambition, the sheer ambition to what this ownership group is doing is pretty chicken oriental, mate. Mental. The move for Vivell underlines the desire of the new ownership to follow the Red Bull multi-club model and represents a significant addition well in advance of the January transfer window, of course after the departures of Granitskaya, Cech and McLaughlin. Pour one out for the head of scouting, ladies and gentlemen, who would work closely together on recruitment and strategy. Bowley made himself Chelsea's interim sporting director. He got a lot of shit for that as well, by like, you know, your Gary Nevilles of this world and people. Look at him now. He was like, look, this is temporary. Not only am I getting a sporting director, I'm getting 1,000 sporting directors. Come at me now, G. Neville. You know what I'm saying. Yes, so he's likely to keep that role until the club appoint a permanent replacement. But it won't be long, man. They wanted Christoph Freund. They'll get someone in soon. Chelsea have taken close interest in the Red Bull model since the takeover in a failed move for the sporting director, the aforementioned Christoph Freund, who decided to remain RB Salzburg. It is believed that Vivell had already been lined up to potentially move to London with the Austrian. So perhaps my speculation was right. Chelsea were like, yeah, you're not going to be the main guy, you're going to have a technical director with you. Interesting. News of Vivell comes at the end of the week, which has emerged that striker, of course, Nkunku has signed a pre-contract agreement with Chelsea to move to Stamford Bridge in the summer, and the Telegraph Sport also revealed that Chelsea will try and complete a move for Joško Gvardiol. Interesting. Right, this article goes on, but I think that's enough for me for that. But interesting. Chelsea's mega ambitious strategy here. First off, sign up. If you extend Mason Mount down to new contract, that's done. Him and Reece James are on long-term deals. Of course, Armando Broja is signing a long-term deal, which could look more and more and more important as time goes on. New signings, we'll get some people out the door, academy boys through, and a new world-dominating structure, it would seem. Very, very interesting stuff, though, and I hope you've enjoyed learning about it with me, your host, Jans. If you have, mate, yes, like the video and subscribe. But yeah, I want to urge you guys to comment. I have been really enjoying your comments of late on the videos. Some smart guys out there, and gals, so big up yourselves. I look forward to reading your thoughts there. Keep it locked, man. Make sure you turn on the sweet bell when you subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you, I guess, tomorrow after the game. That was loud. So you won't see me until the post-match presser. It's going to be such sweet sorrow partying for so long. But anyway, keep it locked. I'll see you very soon. Peace.